Well, good afternoon. This is Houndog Steve wishing you a very pleasant afternoon. And so here we have an interesting little story about Elon Musk taking over Twitter and some of his plans. And of course, it's actually very revealing at the end because he received an open letter from 26 NGOs, which just happened to be financed and backed by George Soros, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton. Well, fancy that. And this is the problem. You see, these NGOs are financed by these huge foundations that have literally billions of dollars at their disposal, whether they are ill-gotten or not, and they use that to create these NGOs, and these NGOs have paid experts on them. Those experts then write op-eds and open letters and so on and so forth, criticizing anybody that goes against the narrative. And it's not just Elon Musk. These NGOs, anybody who goes against the narrative will be brought down, will be criticized, will be attacked on Twitter. And I'm sure it's these NGOs that start these dog piles, these pylons. I mean, it's unbelievable where these come from. I mean, I know that people have tempers and so on and so forth, but I can't imagine that there are that many people in this world that think dogpiling onto an individual is a good thing, and that it wouldn't affect their lives adversely if it happened to them, and that we can't play a game in this world of no forgiveness when we're all flawed and riddled with mistakes. That's the problem. You see, all of this, correct speech is dependent on people being perfect, or that you can make people perfect. And we're flawed. That's why we're here. We're here to learn. We're flawed people, all of us. So we better get over that, because if we want to overcome these flaws, we are going to have to discuss them. And having certain groups with so much money that they can sway public opinion is absolutely stunning. Now, before we go any further, I did an exclusive video on Rumble, okay, about Elon Musk and Twitter, and if you want to see that, you will have to go to Rumble. That's an exclusive. I'm trying to do one a week because I'm trying to get or move my audience bit by bit over to Rumble, and it seems to be working. It's slow but sure, but there you go, and the link will be in the description box below. Okay, so I'm just going to flip over to this article from RT, and I'll pop back and we'll do a quick wrap-up. Okie dokie. Here we go. From RT, Musk plans for Twitter revealed. New York Times. The world's richest man reportedly wants to hire 3,600 employees and quintuple revenue. Billionaire Elon Musk wants to quintuple Twitter's revenue by 2028 and hire 3,600 employees after firing hundreds of them, the New York Times reported on Friday, citing a presentation to investors. According to the report, Musk expects the numbers of employees to rise from around 7,500 to 9,225 this year, drop to around about 8,300 in 2023, and rise again to 11,072 by 2025. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO was said to believe that Twitter's total number of users will grow from 217 million at the end of last year to nearly 600 million by 2025 and 931 million by 2028. He also reportedly projected that Twitter's revenue would quintuple to $26 billion by 2028. The paper said the document shows that Musk sees advertising falling from around 90% of Twitter's revenue in 2020 to 45% in the future. In 2028, ads would bring in about $12 billion in revenue and subscriptions nearly $10 billion, the report said. Musk, whom Forbes magazine lists as the world's richest man, secured the deal with Twitter's board to buy the company for $44 billion late last month. He promised to uphold freedom of speech and follow the law, but has yet to unveil a detailed plan for Twitter under his helm. This week he said that he may make commercial and government users pay a fee for using the social network. The news of social Musk's plans to buy Twitter was met with both praise and concern, including among the company's staff. Now, this is the interesting part. A group of 26 NGOs and advocacy organizations penned an open letter arguing that Musk's takeover would further toxify our information ecosystem. What, toxify it with honesty and truth, you mean? Is that what you mean? And be a threat to public safety. Oh my God, I feel so scared. After Musk publicly called for funding on these organizations to be investigated, the Daily Mail reported on Wednesday that billionaire George Soros and staffers of former US President Barack Obama and former State Secretary Hillary Clinton are among the donors of the activists behind the letter. Ha! Fancy that. Interesting. I wonder if those funding these organizations are fully aware of what the organizations are doing. Musk tweeted it in response to the Daily Mail's article. Very interesting. So, as you can see, we live in the era of the dog pile, and it doesn't matter what your ideas are. You know, no matter how reasonable the changes that Elon Musk wants to make, they will be met with absolute opposition, because these people, these left-wing extremists, these elitists, they do not want to give an inch, and they know. You see, they know this is what we have to learn from what we're being told here. They know that if there is no censorship and that people can talk freely, that their narrative will not stand up to public scrutiny. And, you know, we find, and this is one of the indications that we're getting to the end of this, that we are winning, is because when you look at any totalitarian system in history, I don't care which one it is, they all end the same way, and that is with just blanket censorship. And that's when it falls apart, because everyone realizes what's going on. That's why Russia fell apart, because everything was going wrong. Everything is going wrong. And so, because they can't afford to have anybody notice anything, because we're living in a utopia, don't you know? And that's what it was like in Stalin's Russia. If you were unhappy, you were sent to a gulag, because how could you be unhappy in a utopia? You see, just by your unhappiness at the conditions of austerity that you had to live in, you were a bad advertisement for the utopia of communism. Off to the gulag you go. Off to the meat rending. Off to the organ transplant place you go. That's what happens. That is what happens, you see. And so we need to be very careful about the path that we are going down here, because they always end up the same way. But this is a solid indication to you, my brothers and sisters, that we are winning this war, and that they have overplayed their hand, and more and more and more people are realizing that this is so extreme. This is so extreme that it would just ruin everyone's lives beyond any kind of recognition. And so, yes, you're going to see more and more censorship. They're going to pile on anybody who contradicts them. And watch what they do to Elon Musk. Watch my other video on Rumble, and you'll see what I predict is going to happen. Okie dokie, so if you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe below. Share, please share as far and wide. And in the meantime, this is Houndog Steve signing off, wishing you a very pleasant afternoon, and we'll talk very, very shortly. Take care now. See ya. Bye.